Welcome into another edition of Philadelphia 76ers Now. Chase Sr. here with you, and here's the 76ers Now rundown here to my right. Why the Sixers need to trade KJ Martin. And then topic number 2, are the Sixers regretting this particular offseason move? Stay tuned for that. We have a loaded show on the docket, but I want you to do me a favor, and I need you to do me a favor. Chip is also asking as well, and you'll see him coming up here just around the corner. When you hit that subscribe button here, and I encourage you to do that because then you get year-round coverage of the Sixers. While you do that, hit that bell icon, turn on your notifications, and go to all notifications so that you never miss a video when we push out a show like this, and when we go live, it helps you stay in the know with all things Sixers right here on 76ers Now. So KJ Martin, he's been getting more minutes from Nick Nurse. He's played pretty well, especially a couple of games ago where he helped to win that game for Philadelphia against Orlando. And we've seen some of your comments, right? Chase, Chip, don't trade KJ Martin. But I'll tell you why Philadelphia does need to move him. Philadelphia doesn't have a lot of tradable contracts. They have signed a lot of players during the offseason to short-term deals or contracts with player options. And so for a team acquiring that player doesn't give them a ton of flexibility, but also as far as KJ Martin goes, the Sixers signed him to a specific contract so that they could trade him away to get back a pretty solid player, because in the NBA, for a total trade to be complete, the money needs to match. But because the Sixers' big three is making so much money, they don't have other high salaries to combine in trades. And that's where KJ Martin comes into play here. Joel Embiid, $51.5 million. Paul George just under him at $49. Tyrese Maxey, $35.1. Caleb Martin, $8.1. Kelly Oubre, $7.9. KJ Martin, $7.9. Drummond, $5. McCain, $4. Gordon, $3.3. And Reggie Jackson at $2. Another thing with KJ Martin, young, athletic, and when he gets some burn, he plays pretty well. But in order to get a significant upgrade, you do, if you're Daryl Morey, have to trade one of Kelly Oubre, Caleb Martin, or KJ Martin. And Philadelphia structured KJ's contract specifically to trade him. We talked about this literally when Daryl Morey signed him to that deal. He signed a 2-year, $16 million contract last offseason, but next season is non-guaranteed. So it's basically an expiring deal, which teams will want if they're looking to make a move for a player to shed salary after this year, opposite of what I said a little bit earlier, but to get rid of an outgoing salary. Now, to his credit, KJ Martin has shown some improvement lately, but if you can get better, this is a piece that you do move because it makes financial sense when you break it down on the salary cap. This year, getting a little bit more run than last year, 18.9 minutes per game, 6.5 points, 2.7 rebounds, 64.5% from the field, never a great three-point shooter, 35.7% from long range. But in the last 5 games, that burst of athleticism, solid play on both ends. He's pesky, 13 points per game, 71% from the field, 33.3% from 3. Do I think this is the KJ Martin who is going to be with the Sixers the rest of the year? No, I think his numbers are going to come down to something more that we've seen from KJ Martin, which is a rotational type of player on the back end of the bench. But again, the salary is huge, and just because he's playing well over the last couple of games, it's led to Sixers fans saying, he's untouchable, we can't trade him. Chip, he's not untouchable at all.
No, and look, when the Sixers got him in that trade from the Clippers in the James Harden deal, I actually liked him a lot because he showed a little bit with the Rockets as a younger player, didn't do a whole lot with the Clippers, but he was athletic, could do some things, but over his time with Philly up until now, really hit and miss, hasn't gotten a lot of run. And I do understand, this year, after a slower start to the year, still not getting a lot of minutes, has been a lot better. And he's a player the Sixers could use because he has athleticism, plays above the rim, runs the floor hard. And I appreciate and I can notice the improvements he's made.
Yep.
But this team Their goal is to win a championship, right? And in order to do that, they're probably going to have to make one more move to add in one more player of talent at the deadline. We know Daryl Morey is always looking to upgrade the roster. He always says the team you start the season with is not the team you end the season with. So if you're looking to make an upgrade, as we showed, in order to get a good player, that good player you want to get is going to be making a good amount of money, right? At least upwards of $10 million. That means you got to move someone who's making $10 million, right? You can't just trade low salary for high salary. That's not how it works. So, look, if you want to make a move, are you trading Oubre? Are you trading Caleb Martin? Or are you trading KJ Martin? I've seen some Sixers fans say they want to trade Caleb Martin because he hasn't been great offensively to start the year. Look, if you want to keep KJ Martin over Caleb Martin, I'm sorry, that's crazy. You got to keep Oubre and you got to keep Caleb. KJ is just the odd man out, and it's why they signed him to that deal, of course. So, look, he's been better, and I can see that. And I think he can help this team during the regular season. But let's be honest, is he a real factor come playoff time? No. And if you need to put him in there to get a player like Herb Jones or Dorian Finney-Smith, you absolutely do it 10 times out of 10.
Chip saying probably another piece away from this team being complete. Probably right there, no doubt about it. That's why Daryl Morey is going to be active and working the phones. I will say this. As the Sixers have started to play better basketball, they put out some photos yesterday on social media. Joel Embiid looking thin, looking happy. Tyrese Maxey looking happy, big smile. Paul George looks as though he's having life. I think the dark cloud has moved on from being over the head of the Philadelphia 76ers. So, should the Sixers keep or trade KJ Martin? Let us know down in the comment section. K for keep, T for trade. That is today's poll question, so let your feelings be heard. Coming up next here on the show, an offseason move the Sixers might regret. Who is it? What is it? Stay tuned for that conversation. But first, today's 76ers now sponsored by our friends at GameTime. Holidays are coming up. You can get together and join some fellow Sixers fans going to a game and be a part of this comeback story for the Sixers. But also, if you're looking to get a gift for somebody this holiday season, how about tickets to a sporting event, concert, comedy show, theater event, a whole lot more? Download the GameTime app, create an account, use the code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Terms apply. First purchase only. Love the technology and the user interface on this app. You can see the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. You can easily resell your tickets. GameTime also has flash deals and zone deals. They have ticket insurance. They also have the lowest price guaranteed. If you find a lower price elsewhere, they will credit you 110% of the difference. If you're a Sixers fan, chances are you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Steelers-Eagles at the Link on Sunday. It's going to be one of the games of the weekend. So one more time, use that code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Terms apply. First purchase only. We'll put that link down below in the comments section and in the description of today's 76ers. Now, take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. What time is it? Game time. So do the Sixers regret losing Buddy Hield? After leaving Philadelphia to sign with the Golden State Warriors, Hield has been very good for Golden State. I saw this coming. You pair him up with Steph Curry. You pair him up within that Steve Kerr system, an organization that prioritizes spacing and shooting. And I thought Buddy Hield was going to be able to have a little bit of a bounce back year from what he had last year, but also what he's done over the last couple of years. And the numbers for him, they've been really good and very efficient. You see on your screen here, he's only playing 23.4 minutes per game. But despite playing less than half the game, Buddy Hield is averaging 14.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, 45% from the floor, and 43% from three-point range. He recently did an interview with NBA TV, and he was like, yeah, I kind of lost that love for the game of basketball last year. I have it now with Golden State. Was that a shot at the Sixers? Could have been. Was it just him being honest about him not having a good basketball situation a year ago? That could be it as well. But I'll tell you what, he continues shooting like that. Golden State's really going to like the contract that they signed him to if he's hovering over 40% from downtown this year. $8.7 million, then 9.1, 9.6, and 10. That's a really affordable contract given the current construct of contracts in today's NBA, but the value that he has as a floor spacer and as a three-point shooter. Now, I know during the offseason I had said I highly doubt Buddy Hield's going to come back. Doesn't seem like Nick Nurse had liked him at the time, wasn't really a part of the rotation. You thought that he was going to be able to go off when Joel Embiid came back. He didn't really, but now he's flourishing with Golden State. But you think about the Sixers' weakness this year, it's been three-point shooting, both with attempts, they're 20th in that category, and then making them, they are 28th in three-point percentage. Hield is flexible for Golden State. He can start for the Warriors. He can also come in off the bench, serving a couple of different roles. You know that oftentimes he's not going to help you defensively, which is probably why he's around 23, 24 minutes per night. But offensively, he could be dynamic. Here's what he had to say when I was referencing that quote a little bit earlier. Last year, I didn't have that love for basketball. We wanted to find a team that I can feel appreciated and loved. Certainly sounds like maybe he's taking a shot at the Sixers because Nick Nurse wasn't playing him a lot in that first-round series against the Knicks. And then the one game he did play was that Game 6 when he went off. He made that game close by his lonesome. And his numbers with the Sixers, not bad. 42.5% from the field, almost 39% from three, 12.2 points per game. But now he has more of a defined role, Chip, and a consistent role with Golden State.
Yeah, and look, I think this is just one of those things. It kind of seemed after the end of last year that he wasn't going to come back. So I don't know there was ever really a world where he would have been back with the 76ers. But I think they probably wish it could have gone a little bit better last season when he was on the team, especially down the stretch after that good start he had and heading into the playoffs. Because, you know, when they traded for him, like Daryl Morey said, I think we got the best player at the deadline. And theoretically, he was a great fit in the offense with Joel Embiid, a guy that can shoot over 40% from three. And obviously, this team could really use that right now because, you know, they're running out like Eric Gordon. And, you know, the team just is not able to knock down enough threes. So, you know, do they regret him not being back? I don't know necessarily if they wish they could have handled it differently because, again, I don't think there was ever a world where he was coming back. But I think they probably do wish they could have worked something out last season when he was already on the team and things could have worked out differently. Because I'll tell you what, just from a basketball perspective, I think he'd fit great on this team. Again, as you know, you mentioned Chase, a guy that can start or come off the bench. He's done both his whole career, and he's effective in both ways his whole career, whether he be starting over Jared McCain or coming off the bench, which is what I would do personally. He'd obviously be a great addition to this team. Now, you know, obviously someone else that they signed wouldn't be on this team right now, maybe a Caleb Martin or whatever. But look, he's flourishing with Golden State. Good for him. But we got the guys we got on the team right now. We're going to work with what we got. And hopefully this team does see some improvements when it comes to behind the arc because, you know, if not, people are going to be talking about this all year like, man, you had Buddy Hield last year. You're shooting 43% from three. What a mistake by Morey. Not sure it's a big mistake. It is what it is. Just move forward with the guys you got right now.
As we know, hindsight always 20/20. Should the Sixers regret letting Buddy Hield leave? Do you think they have some regret? What do you think? Type yes, type no. As you venture down to the comment section, don't forget to support the channel for free. Hit that subscribe button and help us continue to grow.